May gabi sa tanan. Let's start our cross-stitching session for tonight. It's a cold night kay bago ra nagbuwan diri sa upon. So di makita ko now. Di yapon. Maybe I need to taas. Wala ko kanya. Ikaw adjust. Hindi makita ko now. Well, anyway, my nawong is not important. But can you see? No. So di makita ko now. Ha? Okay na siya. Yeah, so ang importante kay makita ang ato ang project. Okay, so moni ato this is the pattern that we will be doing tonight. It's the Lion's Family. Okay, I've been doing this live stream for 3 days now, taking advantage while our class is not yet in full bloom. It will start ingon sila around August 24. But there's a new release from DepEd that postponed now, but I'm not secondary. I'm already postgraduate student, so under me sa CHED. While waiting sa update from CHED, if they will also move the class to October 5, hopefully not. Kay murag delayed ra kaayo ba? But anyway, I understand good if it will be delayed because, you know, naglisod po diya sila sa ilang module, online module, because not all has a very good internet connection, or maybe kulang yun ang tao to prepare the modules. And by the way, I've seen my mother, because she's a teacher, I've seen my mother preparing those modules, like tambak jud nga tambak na papers ilang kinahanglan, and they even solicited papers just to produce those modules for the students, especially those who doesn't have enough, or what you call this, a stable internet connection, because they will have to use the modules. And if they cannot produce those modules before class starts, then wala gyapon kwenta. Students cannot learn because walay module. Anyway, nakapa-enroll na noong. So, we'll just wait for CHED's update if madayon ang class or not. Right? Okay. So, let's start with our project. Actually, I'm looking at another screen to see how many viewers we have for tonight. So, I already have 3. Hello, 3 cross-stitchers. Pag-stitch na, and let's see what progress we'll have for tonight. So, usually per night, my goal is to finish at least, hinayan kay ko, at least I can finish 2 sets of 3 strands of thread. Because my pattern, the one I'm using, or the one I'm doing now, has to have 3 strands of thread there, and per session I can only finish 2 of these set in an hour. Tabian manggod oy, sige magstorya. But anyway, para mawala sa dato ang pagka-bored ba while doing the stitch, mas maayo man ang naasad tay kauban, and at least I can get to know who among you guys has maybe naay parihan na tong pattern. I don't know, right? Share your comments down below. Yeah, we have a live chat, so you can place your comments and let's see. Pasig parihat ang pattern. Again, I'm working on my Lions family with a size of 20 by 10 inches. And I'm using number 14 Cream Ida. So my pattern is Anchor, but Country Craft Cebu graciously converted them to DMC. Anchor to DMC floss conversion. So I'm using DMC thread. Yeah, DMC thread. Though Anchor ang pattern. It produced the same, I guess, same result. I haven't seen Anchor thread, so I don't know what's the difference. Maybe you know something. Go watch with me, or who's with me now. If you have any idea how an Anchor differs from a DMC. So wala man ko'y bobbin holder, I make my own thread holder. So how about you guys? Do you make your own thread holder too? Well, most of the time, if di ko ganahan gamitan ako ang DIY thread holder, I simply pull at least an arm length from this. Naitawag ani, I forgot how it's called. Murag giingon to sa Country Craft nga akong gi-orderan. But I can't remember. Okay. So where am I? I'm on this part of my pattern. I started from the center. So I'm done with the bush. I'm done with the bush part. I think I dropped my thread. Where's my thread? Okay, there. So I'm done with the bush part. So I'm working on the grasses. Medyo kuti kay separate manggod sila, oy, lagyo. But I do it lengthwise, paubos, starting from the center. What I know, some people will stitch per line. Or kalisod ba? So what I do is do it per color. So if bored ko sa one color, then I jump to another color. How do you do it? How do you do it on your pattern? By the way, I have been stitching since I think high school ba ko. Yeah, and I finished a pattern. I can't remember the name, but it's like a river with flowers right beside and a cottage right beside it. It's a common pattern in our place. So nag-stitch sad ko. But last December, I think around November, I finished this pattern. Kittens by the window. This one is, I think, larger than, oh, it's almost the same, but this one is crosswise, what I'm doing now, and this one is pataas. So this has 11 by 15 inch na design, also using Cream Ida number 14. So it's kittens, 3 kittens and 1 bird. I finished this for more than a year, kay of course, na may klase. And I already gave it as a gift to my mother-in-law. Yeah, there. So I'm done with this pattern. So I move on from cats to lions. Okay, so I guess we can start. ko. Wait, so I want to start here. Paubos. Yeah. Okay. So before, katong newbie pa kayo, what I do is when I lock a thread, ako siyang i-liyo dari from the needle, round it on the needle, and push it down. But I notice it's so dirty at the back, so I decided not to do that and use another method. Okay, so there. Instead of rounding it on the needle, I use the square at the back. I'm not sure how to describe this, but pinch one square, pull it up, and do another. Maybe you have other way to lock a thread. Share niya kasi mas nindot an awon. But so far, I'm liking my back sa cloth. Though bulingit gyapon siya, it's not that clean, but far more better compared atong i-round siya sa needle. Let's start. You can comment down below, or you can use our live chat comments box. Maybe I'm doing something wrong and you have other ways to do it. So I'd be happy to get your suggestions para makakaton sa tabak. Basig nagbuot-buot. And by the way, really, no one professionally teach me or taught me how to do cross stitch. I can't remember someone really taught me how to stitch on Aida cloth. So maybe I'm doing something wrong. You don't know, right? Comment down below. Di nga ba said to mag-zoom and then there's actual interaction with your audience? So I still have to discover how to do that. How you share a Zoom session on YouTube and do some invites and actual interactions, discussion. So maybe di na lang sa YouTube, no? Sa Zoom na lang diretso para actual real-time feedback. When I comments down below. Because I know if you stitch, lisod pud baya mag-comments and then mag-stitch. Mas maayo nang nasad ko'y kastorya actual. Right? Masayop pa lang ta. Nag-comments, nag-storya, and then nag-stitch. Lisod po. So, hello sa bago ni join sa ato ang live stream. Happy stitching. Tanawa, when I just glanced for a few seconds and I went back to my cloth, nawala na dayon ko. It's dark. I think it's dark. It's still dark. My light is not that. Lighting is not that good. Let me turn on my desk lamp. Sakit sa ulo. Hindi siya gamay. And I use Stabilo Boss to highlight the one I finished. How about you? How do you do? How do you tag the ones completed? Ngit-ngit gapon siya, no? Okay, how about this? Maybe that's better. Pero basig hayag gapon sa inyong view. Padayon ta para mas dako tag-agi tonight. Oh, by the way, I started this project around last week of July. So at least murag taas gid kang time today, or yeah, at this time kay naman na sa balay, no, still on quarantine and some are working from home. Really a very good way to de-stress, to unwind while at home. And I usually do it at night kay bugnaw ba. Of course, you have other activities in the morning. Medyo kiwaw tanawan ako ang way ba nga. What's kiwaw? It's awkward in English. When I drop my arm just to pull the needle and then pull it up. Maybe I can do it that way. or this way kay para mas duol ra ko ang there. I usually do the entire cross. Now I pulled my thread. Natangtang na noon tanan. Who among you uses the embroidery hook? I'm interested in that too. Kaya ako ang ginagamit, it's just clothespin. Para-paraan lagyan siya. Kung saray available. Thrilling kayo na ba in case you missed a portion of your pattern, then you knew it only after you stitched the last box, and then you noticed it should have 2 blank spaces, but you end up like 3 blank spaces, so it's wrong and you have to unwound the entire stitches, and it's kapoy. Haha. Balik again. Counting is our key to success. Sayang sad sa akong thread oy nga murag alanganin nila. So how long do you cut your thread and use another set of thread, or cut it off? This one is short already and I'm done with this part. And the other another portion that uses the same thread is really far from here, so I have to cut na lang and use another set of thread. Oh, actually it's like 3 square down. Maybe I still can use it. Yeah. But that's the only thing. It's easy nga ma-pull up siya. And then you have to insert it again. I think there's something wrong with what I'm doing. Please comment down below. O sige, sakto. How long the thread you have to use until you cut it? Hello sa bag-o nga nagsulod sa live stream. Thank you for watching. We have live chat portion below, so please comment, or you can simply comment out. I'm reading it. I'm looking at it while stitching. I appreciate if you have some suggestions in what I'm doing, or maybe you have a better way to do it. I love to learn. I mean, basig mas paspas nga paagi ani. Especially to the ones who are what we call seasoned in cross stitching and who are so used in stitching large patterns. And of course, to the ones watching, if they read your comments, makatabang sad. It will also be using the suggestions that you have, right? I used to search, or I search channels. I type in cross stitch with me, and I noticed now walay Philippine setting, mostly in UK and in US. Mas nindot man if, especially if Bisaya. I can freely talk in Bisaya, because if I'm talking in Tagalog, I'm not sure who's watching, if you're from Visayas region or Luzon region, or if you're speaking in Bisaya or Tagalog or in other languages, I'm not sure, but I'm more comfortable in talking in Bisaya and in English. Kaya kung Tagalog na, tongue twister, awkward. Kani mubo na jud. This one, my thread is really short, but I'm still trying to make the most out of it before I cut it. Kay you know, lisod kayo order of thread nowadays, kay it has to be delivered and you have to pay extra for delivery. Mo na nga, every inch count for a thread. And after one set of thread, I do the same locking method at the back. So that's how short my thread is before I cut it. Di na gyud siya madaginot. Okay, let's start with the other set of 2 thread. Ano ni Ron? Ako gibutang. Oh, there you go. So, kinsa to'y maayo kaayo mo insert diha sa ilahang thread. Tada! Yes, clear pa akong eyesight. Nice. Let's highlight the ones I finished first. Okay, so we're moving down here, this side of the pattern. It's really an estimation which part would you like to cover and utilize the thread as much as you can. Okay, mag-jump ka o pattern, sayang po ng thread. Okay, mag-lock na santa. So what I do is I stitch the entire box instead of doing it per one side slant, like one slant to the left tanan and then you go back to do the other side. So para mas pas one box diretso cross. But bati ang gawa sa back. I don't like how it looks like at the back. Mas paspas na siya. Compared to do it one slant at the time. But can you check my stream on your YouTube?
Why?
Yeah, see how it looks like.
Looks good.
Are you even watching?
Yeah. Multitask me.
Char. Where am I? I'm lost again. That's one thing. Tangling. Oh my god. How can you untangle this? There. Thank you for sticking with me. We're now like how many minutes in live stream? I'm not sure how many minutes that. Is it 30 minutes?
Doesn't say.
Yeah, it doesn't say. I think almost 30 minutes, and I've finished one set of 3 strands. Yeah. Nawala na ko. I'm lost. Find me. Oh, hi. How do you keep track of what you're stitching? Because if it's like you mark the ones you finished and go back to your stitching, you'll get lost easily. Hello sa pag-earn ni Enter sa live stream. Thank you for watching. So I'm still working on the same thread color and the kalibog. I'm confused where my it slows me down. So I'm not sure how you guys do it, how you make sure that you keep track of where you are on the pattern. Do you always mark what you finished, or do you finish a certain part before you mark it? I don't know. I'm lost. Dali lang ha. Let me count again. Distracted to girl. Joke. I'm not distracted girl. But counting is again our key to success. Okay, I marked the ones I'm not finished yet. Yeah. Diba, if na-study with me session, napunta cross-stitch with me because it's again a hobby. So you have to share. You have to share your passion to the ones doing the same thing, and maybe share your techniques. Because right now I'm struggling. So maybe you have other ways to do it. I don't know. Sa Anthony. Do you use stabilo boss, or there's a better way? Because sometimes if you use markers like this, kuan man gud siya mo hugaw sa imuhang pattern ba. you use erasable markers? Lagi ko question. Ano? Paano? Paano? Hello sa bagong sulod sa atong live stream. Good evening sa inyong tanan. I'm struggling with the pattern because it's everywhere. The colors are everywhere, and if you look at the colors, not everywhere, but it looks almost the same. It's just a different shade of green, but it's all green, light green, dark green. And now I'm working on a pattern that somehow looks the same color with the ones right beside it. So this is a different color from this one is a different color from this color, but if you look closely, they're like the same color. Lubak. Lubak akong tingog. Murag ka-delay. Lubak. My voice is delayed. What I'm talking is delayed on the other side. Hello, someone who joined. Thank you for checking in to my live stream. So what I do is I just cross stitch, and hopefully in my future sessions, I can have an interaction with my viewers, so at least I get to have an idea how this hobby is properly done. Maybe you can share your thoughts, how to do it, how to properly do it. That would be great. keeps on tangling. Tangling out. Slowly but surely lang ta kay lisod kayo magbalik-balik magsayop, and then you have to stitch again, you have to remove the stitches and stitch again. Sige lang. Dayon. So sometimes tanga lang sa kasi mo ang pattern because you have to know ang kapaingon or where's the pattern you have to follow next. Also, what's the favorite pattern that you have worked or you have finished? Because every pattern has a story. Like this pattern, I made this when I was so sad, or I was in college, or when I was in this certain situation or in a certain time. It has a specific significance. It's like part of your journey. Somehow, again, it has a story to tell. Not just a picture, not just a pattern that you're working on, but the moment that you are working on that pattern, right? It has an impact. It has a certain humuhugot, sorry. Nawala na noon. Hello! Sa ni-join, mag-uhay lang. Welcome! Welcome to my live stream. What I was talking earlier was a pattern is not just a pattern. It held something. It's a memory while you were working on a certain project. Some people, they'll work on while they're pregnant, right? So you will remember for that certain pattern, you were inside my tummy. So when you're right, when your kid is born, and you tell the story while you're going through a certain emotion, a certain phase in your life, and you're working on a certain project. So it makes it more special. So for example, my pattern, my kittens by the window pattern, this pattern that I worked on last 2018. So I started this when I was still planning for our wedding, and then while we're in the process of wedding plans or working on your wedding, it's time consuming. It's like it's draining you, especially your budget, your wallet. It's draining you. So while you are so stressed about it, this is my way out. So I work on this pattern. It's something special. And when I completed the pattern, I gave it to my mother-in-law. It's a special, even the picture itself has a significant, it has what do you call this? It has a purpose. It holds something special in me. This signifies the 3 siblings coming into my life that I'll also be part of their family. So the bigger cat is my husband, and the smaller cats are his brothers, which are twins. And I think I'm the bird. I'm the bird they're looking out. Or it can also signify as their mama, looking out for their mama from afar. It's cute. So it's now with my mother-in-law, and hopefully she can place it on their wall. I gave it to her not framed yet, because again, the wedding is so draining. No budget for framing a big pattern. It's so cute. And now I'm working on the Lions family, because we're creating a family. After the wedding, I have my own family now. Not really a family, but husband and wife. Soon. Advance mag-isip. Now, where am I? Daddy, I'm lost. Okay, I'm done with 2 sets of 3 strands. So, I'll lock this up. Thank you to those who stayed with me for the past 1 hour, more than an hour live stream. I'll end with that set for now. So what have we finished tonight? So I'm done with okay, I'm done with this part here and here, this long part that took a lot of time, more than an hour for that, just this line. What was difficult is you have to make sure you have to count the number of boxes you have to stitch. If you notice, it doesn't have any side patterns that I've finished. So this is the first set of lines I've done. There's no basis, so it's up to the previous stitch that you completed onwards there. And you have to really count how many squares you have to stitch. But I think we're all good. It's done. Yeah, it's right here, this part, just this part and this part. It took me an hour, more than an hour, but of course with sidelines, talking on the sides. Okay, I think we're done for tonight. I'll try to have another session tomorrow night. It's weekend, so yeah, maybe I'll do another 1 hour session stitching. It's again slowly but surely. It's better to be more accurate, like quality over quantity, right? So at least you are sure that you're stitching the right part of a certain pattern. So that's how I pipos put away my thread, just like this. So I've cut them arm's length already for it to be easier to use and place it on the needle. But for the rest of the thread, it's still here, kept. So I'm still working on, again, the bushes and the grasses. So once I'll be working on the certain part, like the lion part, then I'll make another DIY stitch thread holder and place certain set of thread for a certain portion of the pattern. So if I work on the lion, then I'll choose the thread for this part and make another set of this DIY thread holder. Okay, so that's it for tonight. Thank you for staying with me. Have a good one. Bye-bye. There. How do you end this?
Nakasunod 1 minute.